ice cream scene, it's usually
Not ice cream?
mashed potatoes, and they'll say cut. And you see the actor go, "Huh." They spit, they, they spit into a bucket or something that's close by. We do all the fun stuff.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of the Talking About Cars with Randy Cardoon podcast featuring the one, the only, you know him, you love him, Hot Rod. He's hot. Bob Beck. There he is, because everybody has a car story. It is so true. Yes. All right, I'm back in the studio, as is Bob for this one. We're talking cars and talking movies, and we're going to talk TV shows with today's guest, Bob.
Yep. Yeah, and we're going to talk about racing, because that's what he does when he's not on a TV show or movie.
Yeah, for those of you who wonder, my gosh, how does he squeeze it all in one day? Or not one day, but in one lifetime? I don't know, right? I mean, those guys really drive me crazy because they just have so much energy. Yeah, he was young.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. He's young. Yeah. When he told us when he graduated high school, it was like, huh? You darn youngster there.
I'm in our studio in Washington State. Hot Rod Bob back at his Two Tired Guys digs near the lovely Ventura, California area. All right, let's bring in our guest. Without further ado, or anything else we're doing, let's bring him in for his first appearance on the show, and certainly a lot of fun. A guy who's involved in the movie business, involved in the acting business for a little while, and involved in the racing business. The one, the only, let's hear it for Trevor Larkin on the Talking About Cars podcast. Hey, Trevor Larkin joining us on the Talking About Cars podcast right here on the program. Trevor, thanks for joining us on this day. Thanks for taking time out during your lunch. Yeah, is it a good lunch? I mean, are you eating good food
I hate
here?
To say it's a quick 7-Eleven pizza and big gulp kind of day. It's
nice to know you're eating healthy there, young man.
All righty. Gluten-free.
Yeah,
No problem with being gluten-free. Okay, got it. All right, very good. Welcome to the show. And, this is going to be fun because not only can Trevor talk with us about his car stuff, but he also has the other side of the coin. He's into movie stuff, and he, for a while, did acting stuff and all sorts of other really fun stuff. And he's racing today. So, gosh, Bob, where do we start?
I don't know. We can talk about, let's open up with, you were the driver in a famous drag racing movie.
I was. I got tapped. I got a phone call one day, and it was a random 310 number, which is a Southern California number, and said, "Hey, we want you to be part of our movie." And that's like, okay, that's obviously spam, like, okay, sure, buddy. And it was a producer named Doug Blake. He says, I met you in Bakersfield. That we were shooting B-roll stuff of I don't know if it was an ANRA race or if it was a reunion or something they were shooting a film on. And somehow they got my number. I don't remember even talking to the guy, but then once he reminded me a little bit, I was like, okay. He says, we're doing a movie. I can't tell you what it is yet. I'm like, well, that sounds fishy. It's like, you don't want to attach yourself to something that you don't know what it is.
Right.
So he says, I'm going to send you a script. And he sent it to me, and it's called The Untitled Snake and Mongoose Movie, which ended up being the real title, The Snake and Mongoose Movie. I'm like, well, real play on words there, guys. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I said, my dad grew up in this era. Like, he was with these guys in the 60s and 70s doing this stuff. It kind of became like a cool way to attach myself and be on the set dressing side of stuff. So I work in set dressing and the set decoration department on TV shows. I'm currently on SWAT on CBS on Friday nights at 8. Little plug there. It's on Hulu. Yeah. It's on Netflix.
See the poster right there to your left?
You name it. It's on. Yep. I got Shamar over my shoulder. But so that's what I was doing on the movie, was being their guy that was on set while they were filming to do all this stuff. And to kind of keep the realism, as much as I tried to do it with what they gave me, there was a lot of the director, like, at one point gave me like a flag that I could throw, like a referee or a challenge flag in football, and say, that's not how it happened, or that's not what will work. And at one point they're like, "How old are you? How do you know this is how it happened?" I go, "I've heard these stories." Bob will tell you if you're a fan of the sport,
Yeah.
you're pretty schooled in a lot of the heritage and history of the sport and how things were and the stories of the Don Perome story. The Diamond P back in the day used to make amazing videos of stuff that I miss those. I miss those. Like there's Snake sitting in his shop. He's got his feet up on the desk. He's doing this kind of stuff. This is really cool things that are kind of missed out nowadays on the nothing against the Fox broadcast, but man, we could sure do some B-rolls of the teams and the drivers themselves.
Yeah, the color is missing. They're too worried about they're too limited in their time, so they don't do that. They just cut and go to the next race.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they've got anyone now that really could converse with the racers like that on Fox.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Back in the day, there was the when they shot themselves in the foot was when they did have the live national event broadcast, and it would rain. It always would rain on the live broadcast, and NHRA's playing old footage of old races because they're in rain delay. They're in rain delay. They're in rain. It's like they're like, why are we doing this? So now they I guess what they do is they shoot it all, they deliver it, and it airs a couple hours later. They edit it live, basically in a trailer, and hand it off that way. My class, Top Alcohol Dragster, ours airs on a Tuesday night at midnight. Our coverage in Pacoima. I don't even know where they air. Like it never's on like anything you could actually find it on any type of telecast. It's like, oh, there it is. I was literally, let me tell you this, guys. I was literally on a date one time, and over the girl's left shoulder at a Chili's was my race. I'm like, do I tell her to turn around and look right now? Because I'm literally on the TV.
Of course you do. Wait a minute. Of course you tell her
wasn't
to
going
do
that well.
that.
Wasn't going that well.
Look at that car. That's me. Yeah, you can't see you. It's like we
Yeah,
joke
I
about
swear to
this.
God, it's me. And I
Yeah, we
catch
joke about
myself
this.
every time when the camera comes over to me.
Yep.
I still smile. I got a helmet on my face, and I
And
still
no one can see
smile.
you.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's just it. There are so many racers I know by name. They know me by name. They've
Yeah.
never seen me out of the tower, and I've never seen them out of a helmet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so just to make sure we have this straight, you at least had the Hot Wheels Snake and Mongoose cars, right? When you were growing up?
Oh, I still have them. I still have them.
Right.
My mom saved all my old stuff.
Good for you.
When I
and
when
your
I did the
mom.
movie, I got to show Snake. I go, hey, will you sign this? And I felt like a tourist, you know. Hey, will you sign my thing? And he's like known me since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And he goes, wow, this is the original one. This isn't one of the '90s repops. I go, yeah, this is one of the ones from the '80s, which is probably from the '70s that my dad had that I had got being my father's son. Whenever they had the original ones put out, and I had one.
Wow.
That's cool. Now you alluded a moment ago to driving top alcohol. That is the third fastest class in NHRA racing.
Yeah, we're running. Like here's my car from last season.
Hold on. Let's get a little closer. Go ahead.
I drove for a gentleman named Greg Lawrence. This is the old In-N-Out Burger car that Melanie Troxel drove in the '90s. It's still out there. Looks a little different, obviously, but it's still out there. And the little engine that could. It's got a little older pipe, but it's a car will run. I've moved on from that team to a new team, based more out of Southern California that fits my schedule and works with my TV show and my craziness that I'm involved in.
So just to make sure we chronologically have this correct, first came the acting as a kid stuff. How did that get going?
Oh gosh, you guys did your homework. So I got in with my brothers and I were all child actors. Our dad worked for the studios. Our mom wanted to be like that studio mom that drove the Jaguar and all this stuff. So that's kind of what we did. I had small background parts that I ended up getting speaking roles on, and I still get checks to this day from Home Improvement, Boy Meets World. My middle brother was the stunt double, photo double in Jurassic Park. There's been a lot of movies that our family's been involved in that I wasn't much of in front of the camera in front of I'm more of a, I don't want to be seen. Probably why I drag race, I wear a helmet.
Yeah.
Think they look.
So you were
So that's
never
why,
really the camera hog that wanted to be an actor as a kid.
not really. I do my thing. I'd rather be the guy behind the scenes that gets to see his name in the
Mhm.
credits and stuff. Because no matter who you are, not all actors are credited because it's up to the producer's discretion if you had enough screen time or whatever to get that title, you know. So here I
Right.
am. I'm now
So how
When
did the
did
transition go from you being in front of the camera? So I guess that went into what, the mid 90s, and then the transition went to you starting to do the stuff behind the scenes.
not to age you guys, but I graduated high school in '98,
oh my
Oh my.
gosh,
and
Barney, you youngsters.
Yeah,
in
I know.
'98, I graduated in '98, and I was going to junior college here in Santa Clarita, and I took like a theater class, and I was working in like the behind the scenes part of the theater class that did all the sets and stuff, and I really liked it. And my dad goes, "There's a prop house in North Hollywood that's hiring," because he drove for the studios. So I went down there on a day I had off and applied, and I got the job. And a couple of days later, I was working there. I put in about a year and a half there at the prop house, and then I got into. They said the TV show Jag was filming at the time.
I
A
remember.
very popular military show, Judge Advocate General. The
Mhm.
guys from that show said, "Hey, they're heavily into permits right now. If you want to get into the business, this is your window. Everything about this business is who you know and timing,
Yeah.
timing. It's all about that stuff." So I literally was like down at the union. Hey, I want to get on the list. My name is Trevor. Yada yada. I was working like 2 days later. I basically told the prop house, "Thank you, I'm out." And they're like, "Wait a minute." And I was
Mhm.
gone and off into the business. And I got my so many days I had to get in to get qualified to get in the union. And I've been in the union 24 years now.
Very good. So just to make sure we understand the Snake and Mongoose connection, not only did you drive, I guess it was Mongoose's car in the movie?
I so when the cars actually had to be running and stuff, which was very few. We went to a lot of stock footage that the guys at NHRA in the archives helped
Mhm.
find all like the real stuff, so we didn't have to duplicate a lot of it, which helped us in the movie because we shot 90% of that movie at the Bakersfield track.
Mhm.
The starting line of Lions we had to make. The top end of Indy was the top end of Bakersfield reversed. We shot everything backwards because at Bakersfield, when you go down the track, you turn off as a driver, you turn off to your right. Well, at Indy, you turn off to your left. So all this is the stuff that I took into consideration when we made the movie. I said, "Hey, this isn't how this was. This is this," and they go, and then they would go, "Hey, Snake, is this right?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's whatever he says." I vouched for myself a number of times and was right. And they were like, "Okay, I guess this kid knows what he's talking about."
Whatever he says, go with
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good pat on the back. That's
The days, you guys will appreciate this, the days that Mongoose, bless his soul, came to set, it was, "Why aren't you talking to that girl? And what time do we eat?" That was his two questions every day because they had all these girls in like Daisy Dukes and tight crop tops. And it was a period movie. So that was all the
right.
stuff he remembers and he liked. But that was the fun part of all of it. It was like, oh, I said, "I'm pretty sure she's taken," and we eat at 6 hours after we start. So
Yeah.
There we go. Did he bring the box with the jewelry in it? Never mind.
no, but there's a thing, and I heard a woman say, "My mom got a necklace from him one time."
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, his
So,
reputation preceded him.
okay. Granted, I'll ask. What kind of necklace are we talking about?
So I guess his claim to fame, and I through the grapevine
Is this
bought
like a
one.
New Orleans thing or what?
No,
No,
this was a, "Hey, I saw you from across the room and I bought you a necklace." And he'd pull out a briefcase and he had pre-bought X amount of necklaces, and he would hold this necklace up and show and the girl's like, "Oh my gosh," and he'd put it on her and, "Hey, what's your name? You're gorgeous." Like it was his thing he did, you know?
this is opening line. Yeah.
It was his opening line. Yeah, it was his opener.
Yeah, see, by watching this program, you think not only do you just get the ultimate wit of Bob and myself, but you get dating tips out on the road. So you
There you
bachelors
go.
out there,
From
this
yesteryear, from the master.
exactly. After all, everybody has a dating story when you listen to the
Yeah.
show. Yeah,
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Now, your family, it's not just you, your father in this. And we ran into this. I was at a Cars and Coffee one morning, and I see you walking
Oh,
across the parking lot, and I go over to say hello to you, and you say, "Well, hell, I see you're sitting there with my aunt," and I didn't know Barbara Hogan was your
yeah.
aunt.
Barbara Hogan's my aunt.
Now, what was
Who
her involvement?
she? I think she dated Tim Gross
Yeah, I've
for a
seen
number
pictures
of
of her
years.
working on the car.
She would cruise. She'd mix nitro. Barbara would start the car, lift the body, shut the starter down, take the pull out, let it slide down her leg, shut the body. She was a badass. Now what you
Wow.
see the guys on the modern day taking 3 or 4 guys to do, she would just, it was sometimes it was just Tim and her and an extra guy.
Yeah. But she was heavily involved in that. And, it's a small drag racing world. That day, she was standing alongside, and you know her too, but with a different name, is Dixon.
Oh, Pat, yeah.
Pat Dixon was standing right there with. I mean, it was like the who's who of drag racing behind us with the Cedarquist brothers, and
Right,
then,
yeah.
so, and this is just a normal breakfast cruise in Southern California where you get to meet the stars.
I always tell people when you go to a car show, look around. Don't just look at the cars. There's living history walking around with you, these places. And people, I go, the guy's wearing a Tony Nancy shirt. There's Tony Nancy when he was obviously
But
still
not
alive.
anymore. Yeah. If you see Tony
He's sitting
Nancy
right
now,
there.
we got a problem.
Obviously, when he was still alive. But that's what I'm getting is the guys that
So, as long as we're going through the pluses and minuses of whether or not you did certain TV shows or movies or not, I have to ask. Let's see here. So you did Snake and Mongoose. You sort of maybe not did Ford and Ferrari. Okay, so The Bachelor. What did you do on The Bachelor?
So Bachelor, we would film. I did the Juan Pablo season, and he was the soccer player that those shows are so interesting because they call it's reality. I'm like, there's no reality to this at all. They plan the dates, they do the stuff. When they go to the amazing mansion where it's all candles lit and the roses are perfectly, and they're gonna go in the hot tub. You
Mhm.
think that guy got there and set the roses out and set the candles and lit them all and he
He
cooked the dinner and
didn't.
all that stuff? No,
He
my
didn't.
guys, me and my guys do that stuff. That's what we do. This guy takes the credit. Oh my gosh, you did so much effort into our date. Who did? You didn't do it. We did it.
So,
So
ladies, if you're watching now, remember if you come home or you go out on a date with him, he's doing the flowers.
Well, I always tell people we get paid to make things look good.
uh-huh.
We do television, film. I've even been the guy. I did a McDonald's deal one time where we had to do all the burgers and stuff and make it look amazing for the commercial and for the back when McDonald's still had pictures on their menu that would change
right.
every so often.
Mhm.
We make it look amazing. It never looks like that when you order it, but when it looks amazing in the picture,
Okay,
because we
so
have food stylists and stuff that make it look good.
how did that happen? Was it makeup? Was it spray paint? I'm all you guys who eat, let's say, certain fast food are probably not going to like this, but let's find out what makes it look
Oh,
really
like a
good.
burger? What it is?
Well,
Oh,
like you say to make it look really good. What would you guys do to a burger to make it
all
look
right.
really good on
So,
TV?
hey, 7-Eleven, pay attention because I may
Gratuitous
want a
plug.
sponsorship one day. If I'm making a big gulp commercial and this
Okay.
is slowly spinning and I want the light to just hit it, we use a glycerin and we spray it so the sweat is so perfect. And if it's not, we can take like a can of air and blow it off and do it all over again. So it has the perfect glistening. They want that one
Oh,
bead of cold to drop right as the camera passes it. It's so
right.
stupid how much of time goes into a 3-second commercial as it pans past a cup.
And
It's
the
so
glycerin would take over for, let's say, cold water or droplets that are going down the side of the cup.
water would evaporate faster with the lighting and the stuff they do, so they do it. If you're going to do an ice cream scene, it's usually
Not
mashed
ice
potato.
cream?
mashed potatoes. And they'll say, cut. And you see the actor go, "Huh." They spit, they, they spit into a bucket or something that's close by. We do all the fun stuff.
Oh my, peanut butter and
Yeah.
cashew mashed
I
potatoes.
we
Yeah.
did I don't remember the show. The kid that he was so excited, the little boy, to eat French toast. And of course, we had 40 plates of French toast, all matching. Because when they go cut, we have to put a new one in
Right.
and refill his drink to where it was. Like there's a lot of
Right.
resets that happen for the prop department. By take 6, this kid wasn't hungry anymore. I go, hey, buddy, you should be spitting it out. Spit it out because you're not going to want this later. He goes, I'm okay. A 10-year-old answer. The guy's his eyes were this big because he saw all this French toast, which looked amazing. It's the whole stage smelled like a IHOP.
Yeah.
It was so good. And I felt bad because I was like, this kid's not going to make it past. Well, not only do you do it this way, you have to turn around and do the other coverage of now my POV of looking at him from across the table. So that's different angles you got to get. And no one thinks about that stuff when it goes into a food scene.
So it's not a 2-camera shoot or something like that? Oh, very
No, usually be
interesting.
like SWAT shoots 3-camera. Superstore shot 3-camera. Sons of Anarchy, we shot 3-camera. There's a lot of, they make it a triangle of death.
Right.
So you can get different sides of it.
And you were also, what'd you do on Superstore?
I was the on-set decorator. My brother and I were with the set dressing department. So Superstore shot at Universal Studios. If you ever saw the show, it took place in what was to be a Walmart.
Mhm.
So a huge stage. We had 2 stages. Actually, we had 3 stages. Sorry.
Mhm.
But 2 of them they opened the big doors and they were conjoined. So it was a giant, the size of almost like a Big Lots, I'd say, with full gondolas of product, full men's department, women's department, kids, fishing, produce, floral, everything you can think of in a store. We had it in our stage.
Well, we've had Danny Gurr on the show before, so we figured, anytime Elias can come on the program and
Dan
talk
Gurr,
cars. Yes, I didn't. He
how
used to
funny.
he used to work with me in LA radio for a while, so it was.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah, he's a crack up, and we were all having way too much fun when suddenly feet were showing up. Did you put the feet in the box? Was that yours? Because they were supposedly
the prop guys did that, but we had fun with him all the time. I watched them constantly go, hey, Dan, how would you feel about doing this? He goes, okay. He was just such a good sport about all that
Danny.
stuff that they put him through on that show. We want you to do a baby gauntlet where he had to go down through the carryall. He had to go through the ball pit, go up a teeter-totter and down. Mind you, this man is 5'6". I don't want to guess his weight, but it's substantial. And he was a trooper. That's what got him his role on the show. There's a website called People of Walmart that is the interesting people you see in those Walmart type stores. That's how they did the casting on a lot of these shows, with whether it be the workers or the background artists. They wanted the more interesting people because that was where the laugh came from. And he was such a good character actor. Only a couple episodes did he ever say a word, but he was such a good sport and a good character. People knew who Elias was. I'm like, the guy's never said a word, and you know who that is?
And the show was on TV, what, 3 or 4 years or something like that? Or
6 years.
6. Well, there you
6
go.
years.
6 seasons. Yeah. So, wow. Well, there you go. You just never know what it takes to get into show business now, do you?
You don't. And and again, this also falls under that timing and right place, right time stuff, is that kind of stuff with him.
What do you have? What are your wheels? What's your favorite?
I've got in my garage right now. My truck just got totaled, and it wasn't an accident. I had a diesel Chevy Silverado, and the fuel pump on the way to the Vegas national event seized. California has terrible diesel. There's no lubrication in our diesel here in LA or in California, that the fuel pump seized and it ate itself up. I'm going to show this well. This is my fuel pump.
Oh my.
Ooh.
what's left of it. That's the pump. The
That
whole
hole's not
housing,
supposed to be there.
the housing's gone.
Yeah.
And this is what it did to my whole motor is it made
Oh.
glitter out of metal all through
Ooh.
the injectors, on top of the piston, everywhere. The guys basically said, we don't even want to take this apart. It's the whole engine's like this. When they ran a scope down through the where you put the oil in, they could see just the glitter of metal shavings everywhere. So the insurance just pulled it out, and I have a Suburban again. In my garage, I have my dad's cackle car, which is this car here. I also have a junior dragster that I bought for a former girlfriend's kids, and then that didn't work out. And I think I've found a way. I want to be the rent a ride of junior drag racing, and I can open up to kids. Well, so hear me out here though. I
No.
can open up to kids because it's a starter car which has like a Briggs and Stratton pull start, and it has pedals that you can start close to the seat and move it out as the driver grows. So the kids can learn and I can teach them, and the parents don't have to ever own the car. They just basically can show up, insert kid, and help him. We'll get his license at the ANWA races and teach him how to drive, and they don't have to own anything.
Yeah, you could do
This
that
is
with
what
the amount of time, the amount of free time you have, which I don't know if you have.
right? I will make it work. I swear, I'll figure it out.
So
Sounds good.
have you ever had a car, let's say we like to talk about the top 10 list of cars that people would like to have someday. Do you have like a list like that where it's just kind of mulling in your head?
If I won the lottery today and you said go get your car, it's the General Lee. I met the actor John
Schneider?
Schneider.
Schneider at a car show, and we got to talk for a good half hour. And then I saw him again last year at PRI in Indy.
Indeed.
Mhm.
And I said, "Hey, I met you." And he goes, "I remember that. I remember everything about it. I met him at the Fairplex at a car show at the Grand National Road Show, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And nobody was even. He's with the General Lee, and he's sitting by himself. I'm like, "Are you open or what?" Like what? He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "There's nothing to be open. I'm just sitting here with the car." I'm like, and we talked because I live in Saugus where they filmed Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
So now it's full of housing tracks galore. But they filmed all through where I live. All those jump scenes with the ramps and all that stuff is right here where I live. He says, "Oh, is that one wash still there?" I go, "That wash is still there." Like he knew where the corners were. It was cool to like talk, and he was like, you could see him going back in his mind for history of all the places he used to go around. He was, they would say cut, and I'd still be driving the car, and I forget that there's a crew waiting for me back there. But it was cool to like that's my, I don't know why, but that became my childhood. I know why. A kid up the street had like a power wheel you could ride on, a pedal car of the General Lee, and I thought that
Yeah.
was the coolest thing in the world until I was 10 and Don Perdone gave us a Pepsi Challenger go-kart, and now I was the cool kid on the street, not that guy.
Wow. Wow. That's nice. Okay, so anything else after the General Lee?
A 34 Ford Coupe with a blown big old blower on it and stuff. I have odd things, but it's something that stayed in my mind. And I only want that car because my dad wanted it. My dad would always said his dream car was a 34 Ford Coupe. I don't know why it was his. It was somewhere in his upbringing that was his favorite car. I think someone on his street had one when he was growing up. Quick backstory. My dad was named Tom Larkin, but he was known as Little Tommy Larkin as opposed to Big Tommy Larkin. There was two Tom Larkins. They both raced NHRA. One drove Top Fuel and one drove Top Gas, which was my dad. They both lived on Blythe Street in the San Fernando Valley on different sides of Van Nuys Boulevard where the street would still continue.
Mhm.
There's a lot of like cool things that became the Big Tommy, Little Tommy stories. But my dad started coming to the racetrack. My grandfather, my dad's dad, passed away when my dad was 10. Now, my grandma, it was just my grandma, my dad, and my aunt. So they were both young kids. And Dave Wallace lived next door or down a couple of
Jeez.
houses from my grandma. And they all went to the same church, a Catholic church in the valley. And they goes, hey, I noticed you guys go on Sundays after Mass to San Fernando drag strip. Can you take Tommy with you? So from age 10, Dave Wallace Jr. and Sky and all that whole family would pile in the car, and for $5 and a can of Coke, you can get into a racetrack and go to the drag races on a Sunday after Mass and go watch drag racing all day. And that was the way my dad got into drag racing, was through Dave Wallace Jr.
Wow.
Funny thing, I lived on Blythe.
You're kidding.
No, just up the street from Van Nuys Boulevard.
Oh my God.
So chances are we were, I was neighbors at the time. So this was 1961, 62 era.
Wow.
I would say, yeah.
Now you can't even go on Blythe Street because it's blocked off. It's considered a gang area.
Yeah.
And it's got it's the only street in the valley that has a curfew.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a blockade at the front. You've got to be a resident to get in. Across the street from Blythe was the GM plant.
Right.
And when I first moved there, I lived on Van Nuys Boulevard, just about 100 yards north of Blythe was an old chicken ranch. And we lived in the chicken ranch house. There was a hot dog stand up front, or a hamburger stand, and my mom ran that. When we moved from there onto Blythe Street. At that point in time, they built a lot of new apartment buildings. So, yeah.
That's cool to hear. I like hearing that stuff.
Yeah.
Trevor, we appreciate you taking the time to join us and
happy to do it.
Talking about the cars and the podcast here today. Thank you out there for watching the episode and getting some fun car stories in the process. Don't forget, if you like today's show and you're on YouTube or you're on any other channel, make sure you give us a thumbs up. That would be appreciated. That'll also help us get seen by a lot more people and all sorts of fun stuff there. More episodes are ahead for Hot Rod Bob and Trevor in California, and myself here at our Two Tired Guys studios in Washington State. I'm Randy Cardoon. We'll see you next time on our next Talking About Cars podcast. So long, everybody.